Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. You see, I have a special guest with us today. This is a live that normally doesn't happen this early, right? So you probably are shocked to see me today. But we are doing our first Thursday live on the day. It was a scheduling thing that we had to change. So we're here with you this Monday morning, August 11th, during National Black Business Month. So I'm excited to be doing the live today because this is a I think a much needed nonprofit that you probably never heard of. But especially with everything that's changing within our federal government, it's going to be impacting the states, which is going to impact the local. This is going to be a unique thing, but we're going to get into that later. Right now, I'm going to tell you that we have this month. Our next event will be the fifth annual CSRA Black Business Summit. So make sure you come out to that. We have a lot of fireside chats, a lot of information going to be given. This is going to be a critical summit so you can prepare for all the changes that are happening now and especially January 1st. So you don't want to miss that summit. You can go purchase your tickets on our website. So we're getting right into this conversation today. So Wayne, let the people know a little bit about who you are and what you do. Don't give them too much because I got questions for you, okay?
Okay, don't give them too much. I'll try not to do that then.
Thank
Well,
you.
my name is Wayne Canty. I'm here from Augusta, Georgia. I run a nonprofit organization called Heart to Heart Prescription Assistant Foundation. And basically, what we do here in our community, we help families with their medication. Anyone that's in need of their medication and they need help, we are just here to help. And a lot of people ask me, well, how you come up with that idea? Well, and then I respond to that. You have to understand what I went through. I am a miracle individual. I done had 3 open heart surgeries. I had a heart and a kidney transplant. And so when God asks you to do something, coming out of all of that, I finally found out what my purpose is. So, Ronique, I tell you not to give a whole lot away, but just give you a little bit of the meat and potatoes. This foundation is my purpose. And so this is what I do. Through God giving me my purpose, at this point in my life, it took me to go through something and to realize what I need to do. So this is what I do.
Wow, wow, wow. So, I got to get into your business just a little
Oh,
bit.
absolutely.
You can't skip over 3 open heart surgeries that quickly and then be like, oh, but I just
Well,
went into my purpose. Like, so what year was this? When did you like? What year?
oh, wow. Okay, December the 9th, 2021.
Uh huh.
December the 9th, 2021, I had my heart transplant. December the 9th, 10th, 11th, December the 11th, I had my kidney transplant.
Hmm.
And December the 17th was my birthday. Ain't that something?
Wow. Did you like?
But
Okay,
yes,
so before that happened, were you having any type of health issues, or
well,
was it
I
just
did. I did. My health issues goes way back almost
okay?
25 years.
Okay,
I was diagnosed with congestive heart failure.
gotcha.
And so being diagnosed with congestive heart failure, it caused a whole lot of problems with my heart. And that kind of occurred up to my first open heart surgery. Um, I was the first one here in Augusta. I was the first one here in Augusta to receive. I don't know if you ever heard of an LVAD. That's LVAD, called left ventricular assist device. That's a
Uh-huh.
device that goes into your sternum and goes up to your heart to keep your heart pumping.
Huh.
And I had to carry that bag around me for I carried that particular one for about 4 years
Okay.
until it started and caused some infection inside of my body.
Mm-hmm.
And so back in 2010, um, causing all that infection, I had to have another open heart surgery to receive an updated device. And so when I received that updated device, here it goes again. I pretty much was in a low percentage to carry that particular LVAD for 12 years. I carried that LVAD for 12 years, unheard of,
Wow.
unheard of. So then that what came about when the doctors When my cardiologist told me, say, hey, Mr. Canty, man, there ain't nothing else that we can do for you. We done all we could do. We took care of you from ever since you had your health issues up to now. We can't do no more. So that's when they transferred me to Duke University. And when they transferred me to Duke University, when they done that, of course, Duke University is Duke University. They found a way to save my life. And that's when they came out and said, hey, we're not going to only give you a heart transplant, but we're going to give you a kidney as well, you know. Right. And I didn't know they can do anything like that, you know. But they did. But they did. And so I'm standing here right now. That's why I say, you know, going through what I went through, I have a purpose on my life, because God is not going to give me and take me through all that just to come back out and say, hey, and not to be able to talk about it, you know, and not to be able to come back into the community and do something worthy for the community, you know. Mm-hmm. So yes, that's what I went through.
Wow. Yeah. So you go through 3 surgeries and then you get out of the hospital, and for some reason you decide to go build this nonprofit.
It ain't some reasons we're gonna ask me to do.
How did you get from having 3 surgeries to I'm now getting ready to build a nonprofit? You have to talk about that.
You and I'm glad you gave me the opportunity to do that. It sounds crazy, but God asks you to do something, you do it. Mm-hmm. I'm up under anesthesia. I'm up under anesthesia, and truthfully, I'm up under anesthesia, and God spoke to me. He said, when I'm going to pull you through this, you're going to open up a nonprofit organization. Now, I'm up on anesthesia, okay? Mm-hmm. Now, after going through recovery, after maybe 3 months of recovery, you know, now I'm back home, not back home in Augusta, but I'm home in North Carolina. And I'm asking God, I said, God, you know, you asking me to open up a nonprofit organization. And I'm still healing, Ronique. I'm still healing. Mm-hmm. I'm still going through something with my body. My chest is still open. And I said, well, God, I don't know nothing about a nonprofit organization. I don't know what to do. What did I do? I never ran a business like this. He just told me right then, this is where you start from. He gave me the epiphany. He gave me the wisdom and the strength and the knowledge to say, hey, research. And when I start researching, it don't cost nothing to research, you know. It don't cost nothing to research. So when you start researching, now you're starting to find out what you need to get a nonprofit up. And so now you're starting to outline yourself. And once you start outlining yourself, now you're putting God inside of this outline. And so now God's starting to help you with your outline. Now, next thing you know, okay, I'm sending it off to get my EIN number. Next thing you know, I'm sending it off to get my articles of corporation. All this didn't cost me anything. You know, now I'm certified to be a nonprofit organization. I said, wow, is it like that? Okay, now I'm sending off other information to get my 501c3, which they may have cost me a little something, but at the time I was able to afford it. But yeah, it cost me a little something now to get my 501c. And now at this time, I still haven't gotten anywhere, but now I got my paperwork to call myself certified heart-to-heart prescription assisted foundation. You know, so I'm still going through chest open, but I got a foundation. Now I'm not working it, but I got one, you know, and now I'm sitting here and I'm saying, okay, now what did I do next? God, what you want me to do? I got a foundation. What do you want me to do? Call up a pharmacy and find out who need help. Huh? If I call up a foundation, if I call up a pharmacy and find out what client or what customers need help, how do I pay for it? Mm-hmm. What do I do? God always told me funding would never be a problem. Wow. So I listen, real nigga. I listen from that day forward to where I'm at right now. He didn't tell me it's going to be easy. No, ain't nothing about this is easy. But I'm in my purpose. I'm in my purpose, and I know what my purpose is. I started from the bottom. And that's the beauty part of this. I started from the bottom, and now I'm working my way up. So yes, that's where it started from.
Now, for those who are joining us just now and they have never heard of Heart to Heart, you got to break down what does Heart to Heart. Well, first of all, let me back up. you got the message and you found the purpose, but then you follow through with action. So hats off
Absolutely.
to you, because a lot of
Absolutely.
people will get the message and won't follow through with the purpose, and
Yes.
then don't do the action, right? But then
Yeah.
they're like, oh,
Mhm.
no one's this, no one's this. But are you taking the action and move the steps? Like you said, you said funding never be a problem, but things come to you when you're moving. And I think that's such a important thing to hear, because a lot of people get ideals, or they get like, I want to do this, I want to do that, and then they'll stop for one reason or another reason, or they never take the action, or they'll hear, like you said, you educate yourself, you went
Yes.
online, got the education, and then you applied it. People will sit in
Yes.
classes forever and never apply the information, be like, nothing happened. Well, nothing happened because you
Yes.
never applied knowledge is what you have to do.
Yes. Yes.
You can get
Yes.
all the
Yes.
knowledge you want, but if you don't apply it, it ain't gonna do nothing
Yes.
good.
Yes. Well,
So
you know what? One of my
you're
favorite
doing
prayers
a
is,
lot of different stuff.
one of the things that I ask God for is strength,
Mm-hmm.
is strength, knowledge, and strength, knowledge, and faithfulness.
Right.
That's all I ask for.
Yes.
If He give me that strength, I know that I'm gonna do it. And He give me the knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
and wisdom, and the
Right.
knowledge and wisdom. If He
Yeah.
give me those three things, there ain't nothing you can do to sit back and stop me from doing what I'm doing. Because now I know what I need to take. And I get in front and talk to anybody. I don't care who it is, what not, or what it may be, you know. And I done heard so many, many, many. I've been disappointed so many times. But
Mm-hmm.
that's because God already built that wall for me.
Yes.
He's in front of all of this. He got the people have to understand. He's in front of everything that I'm doing. He already know my no's and he
Mm-hmm.
already know my yeses. So I just have to work through it. That's
Yeah.
all I got to do. Yeah.
Listen. Now you got to explain to the people what heart to heart is, because we talked about the journey, but we have not said what heart to heart does. They
Okay.
probably picked up on it in the clues, but explain to the folks what heart to heart is all about.
Okay. And it goes back to this again. It's a community foundation.
Mm-hmm.
There's no strings attached. Now we have learned more about, going through and talking to a lot of agencies and see how they do their business. You have to go through a whole lot. And I understand accountability, but accountability don't always understand people's needs. Okay. When I say that, there is someone that's out there can be making $100,000 a year and still cannot afford to pay $20 for their medication. But that person making $100,000 a year, when they put it on that application that they might making $100,000 a year, guess what's going to happen? They're going to get denied. They're going to get denied. They're going to say, no, we can't help you.
Right.
We're a foundation. If you need that medication and if you need help, that's where we at. We are in a situation where we want to help people. So yes, if you're making that kind of money and if your insurance are good and if you just cannot afford it, if you cannot afford it, and if you got to make a difference between paying your light bill, paying your insurance, or putting baby diapers or buying diapers or putting food on the table, and you ain't got money for your medication, no matter how good of a job you got, you just cannot afford it. And so here we are. Now you'll call up heart to heart and say, hey, can you guys help me with my medication? It's 20, man, I don't have it. I need $20. Okay. It's a need. It's a
Right.
need.
It
We're
is.
not asking you, and we're not asking you, about how much you make. We're not asking you this or that. We're not asking for none of your personal information.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the pharmacy that we deal with, and that's Barney's Pharmacy on Peach Orchard Road, and that's in all the Medical Associates Plus pharmacies. We are inside of their pharmacies. So we know that if you go there and you can't purchase your medication, the pharmacies know. They know what you can pay. They know what you can't pay. That's why, and that's the advantage of dealing with local pharmacies, because there's more family oriented. So that's what we do. It's just simply, we just help families or individuals to purchase their medication.
So I'm talking to Wayne Canty. It's your first time on here, and I'm talking to he built his organization after like several trials himself. Like, it's amazing that you have the energy that you do. Because I've known you what I think over 2 years now. And I mean,
Yeah,
you
that's
just
right.
continue to go, go, go. And I'm like, whoa. But I think this is such a critical time and need right now for what your
Yes.
organization does with the bill that we've been discussing, the big, beautiful bill, OBBBA that passed. We're going to talk about the
Yes.
cuts real quick and why they should support Heart to Heart, which his information will be up top. And the thing that people talk about, the questions I'm getting right now, well, what are we going to do? I said, well, you're going to get back to the
Mhm.
community. You're going
Oh,
to be
yes.
more connected to your locality. Like
Yes.
you said local. I said, that's going to become
Yes.
the key. It's going to be
Hmm.
the small businesses, the smaller nonprofits, those local pharmacies and stuff that are able to keep their community running and smoothly as these cuts happen. So let me talk about the cuts really quick. There's about 1 trillion in federal Medicaid and spending cuts that's going to occur, and chip cuts. This is, you're already talking about people can't afford their prescriptions today before the cuts.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're saying like it's already an issue today. So just imagine what is going to happen. So for Georgia, you're projected to have 2.29 billion in federal funding cuts. And for
Mm.
South Carolina, it's 2.4 billion over the
Wow.
next time frame. So when we talk about this being such a critical conversation today, because this is happening in real time, some states are starting to see where their retirement facilities are starting to push the patients out, or they're closing already. Some states have already announced some of the cuts and they're cutting programs. And a lot of this is going to start taking effect January 1st and for over the next 5 years. And people are going to be like, what happened? Because nobody's really,
Hmm. Hmm.
everybody's living their day to day. So a lot of people don't realize this bill has passed and now
Yes.
it's getting ready to cut and impact our retirement community, our hospitals, our rural communities, our cities. It's going to impact everybody, whether you are on Medicaid or Medicare or not. And that's the thing that I was telling people. Like, it may seem like, oh, because I'm not on it, it's not going to impact me. But it is, because everybody's impacted by having
Yeah.
hospitals. If hospital is stressed and you have to go to a hospital, guess what? You're going to be impacted.
Hmm.
You have
That's
elderly
right.
parents that sometimes you need Medicaid, Medicare to cover costs. I'm in the sandwich generation. A lot of us are.
Mhm. That's right. We are. We
So
are.
I'm, talking to my mom. My dad passed. I buried him right before the hurricane. He was bedridden. We were dealing with Medicaid, Medicare. So I understand all the ins and outs of it. But the
Hmm.
that it's getting cut, and it was already not that much anyway.
Yeah, really.
So and then the other thing that I want to say really quickly is make sure that your addresses are updated, because my understanding is you're going to get a letter to get recertified, and those letters have already been sent out. I got that confirmed from somebody that lives in South Carolina the other day.
Oh, wow.
So you probably, if you know anybody, spread this information out, guys. It's very important that we get the information out to our community. This is also part of taking the knowledge and applying it and sharing it out with those
Hmm.
who may not be connected. Share the
Yeah.
link.
Yeah.
This is something critical. Heart to Heart may be able to help a person. You may not know that they may be in help, but they need to know. They may know somebody else is in help, because people sometimes are just scared to ask for help in America. We haven't, you
Oh,
know,
God.
community, the community thing. I've been talking a lot about it on my personal social media about how America has been taught to be separate and hyper individualized, hyper independent, and
Hmm.
take away the community aspect and not seeing each other as human beings, and how that's going to impact a lot of things as we deal with the changes that are up ahead. But share the information out. Tell them that they're not alone.
Yeah.
Let them know there's people out here that want to help, like Wayne. So Wayne,
Yes.
I wanted to put that information in there so people can understand the critical need of organizations like yours. At
Right.
this
Right.
time, we're going to all
Yes.
experience this together.
Oh, yes. Well, I would
Yeah.
like to say this as well, and to follow up on what you're saying, Ronique, is that one thing that getting inside of this foundation, of course, you gain experience, because I did not have any. I did not have a lick of experience, but I learned a lot. I learned a lot of knowledge, and so gaining this knowledge, and one thing is, and it is It's one thing to understand that a person needs help with just blood pressure medicine or they diabetic medicine, but it's also another in finding out why people cannot get their medicine. And it's a lot, it's like a double-edged sword. People go 3 months without their medication. 3 months now. And the reason being because they can't make a copay. They can't make a $40 copay. Now, when they make that copay, now they're able to afford their medication. So you mean to tell me this person didn't go to a doctor over a certain length of time because of a copay and then not taking care of your medication? See, this is the type of stuff that we need to talk to our community about. This is why we suffer, because people, no, a lot of us don't talk about it. But this is the deal. People do not go to the doctor because they can't afford a copay. Now, we don't help several people to pay their copay. Turn it right around, their medication probably costs $10, $12. But yet you got paid, we help you make your copay. So not only that you can go get your doctor to get physically help, well, whatever type of help you need to go to your clinic or whatever, then you get your prescription, you won't have to miss your medication. You know, and that's the sad part. That is the sad part. It is.
Yes, it is. We have been covering health insurance here, just unique ways. We have some unique things in our community. So we have some things that's available to our members at discounted rate, but it's also available to everybody. But just kind of like making sure people are making sure they're covered, whether you're an entrepreneur. Don't get me started on that. If you don't, if you're an independent contractor, if you work a job, even other unique things that we do have available. Great thing in the CSRA, we have some doctors who have actually stepped away from the medical industrial complex, and now you can pay for things out of pocket, but then having the money to pay for it. But at least there's some options that we have instead of dealing with the astronomical costs. People are going to, you hear about it all the time, driving to Canada, Mexico to get medication, right? You hear about it all the time. So yeah.
Well, I don't know how much time I got, Ronit.
Right.
But I want to put this plug in. Starting January the 1st, we was getting ready to prepare to start talking with pharmacies over in Canada, in Mexico, so that we can get that medication not only here, but have our people to send the prescription with those people over there in Canada, where they can get their medication for $2, $3. Now that's something I just plugged out there. I put that plug, but that would be updated more coming around January 1st.
That needs to happen. We got to talk up there offline. I don't know what legal things we got to make sure happen, but that is a major
it's some legal stuff. Yeah.
So but that is a major need because our prescriptions are definitely overly priced, and so it's people to getting care. Which is, dire care. I think, I remember seeing the big old thing about that, like an EpiPen, like just basic medications and how, it's cost here. And I have a whole story about me scouting in Mexico and going to the doctor here versus in Mexico and how much it costs and how I went to two doctors and how one doctor told me here I was having something else and come to something, it was something really simple. And the doctor in Mexico solved it in like 10 minutes. So it's, it is very interesting. That's what I'll say.
There you go.
Thank you so much for your time today. I don't want to keep you much long. I know you had a long Monday already. So I want you to get some rest, but I need you to give everybody your contact information, how they can support Heart to Heart. I am just so grateful that you followed your purpose, your passion, getting the message to start this nonprofit that is just helping with prescription costs, where a lot of people wouldn't realize that this is a major need. But I think we're all aware of it, especially if somebody runs into some type of specialty medicine that I'm hearing like people are talking about is thousands of dollars. And I'm like, it's what?
It is.
I'm like, huh? Like, who won't pay that?
You're right.
Yeah, it doesn't. A lot of it doesn't make natural sense, but hey, what do I know? So, Wayne, how do they contact you?
Well, of course, again, my name is Wayne Canty. You can
Mhm.
go to RX Heart, that's HEART, RX Heart to Heart.org. You can go to that website and you can see, every you go to our gallery, you can see the people that we already helped. You can see our testimonials. You can see our community work. You can see a lot of stuff on our website that what we do in our community. And you can also send us a message from that if you need help from that. There's also a donation button there as well. You can go on there and hit a donation button. In it, it don't matter what it is. Any amount will do, because we found out it don't take much to help somebody. And we having a community line dancing fundraiser event coming up on October the 18th. And we're doing a raffle on a Pandora bracelet that's sponsored by Windsor Jewelers. And so I may be coming seeing some of you guys at our next event. I know next thing we having a Black Business Expo coming up, so I'll be coming out networking. I'm that one that's gonna get on your nerves, man. I'm tired of looking at you, man. Well, I'm sorry. We need your help. We need your support.
Yes, yes, yes. You have a
So
very worthy cause, especially at a time like this when we are getting cuts of this magnitude that is going to impact
yes,
so many. So thank you so much for establishing heart to heart and keeping it going and it being in our community. I think you're truly a gem. And I will the website will be up above in the once we end the live, so you'll see the information if you watch this after we get off the live. You'll see it. Just look in the comments and look above on the title, and you'll have Mr. Wayne Canty's address. Wayne, anything else you want to leave anybody with before we get off of here?
no, I don't. And I think we covered a lot of bases. Oh, a book will be coming out as well real soon.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay,
Oh yeah. 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 We'll
yes.
be coming out one real soon.
You
It's
definitely
in the
got a lot to
progress.
write about. Yes.
Oh, yes, I do. But
Yeah.
no, I thank you. But I thank you, Ronique, for giving me this opportunity and this platform to let folks know about what Heart to Heart is all about.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time today. And then again, if you want to connect with the chamber, just go to our website. It's one stop shopping. You want to join the chamber, sign up to go ahead and come to the Black Business Summit, which is open to everyone. All our events are open to all. Just go to www.nygabc.org and click on our events and go to our calendar. We'd love to see you at the fifth annual Black Business Summit. Again, this is going to be a summit. So we're going to give you a lot of information so you can make sure your business, your nonprofit, even you as an individual can transition through all the changes ahead. And remember, I'm Ronique West, President, co-founder of the Greater Augusta Black Chamber of Commerce. We are one community, one voice, and I bid you good day.
All right.
Okay.